Good day, everyone, and welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. Today, the 25th day of April, 2025. So today, on a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending where you're watching us from, we are here again to have discussions on the issues, on the trending news happening in Nigeria, and then the solution to the problem of Nigeria, because whatever you see everybody talking and not providing solution, then there's a problem, because already the issues we are talking about in Nigeria has to deal with the problems. So today, the first thing I want us to discuss, we have several things to discuss. One, I have that issue and the question going about whether INEC chairman and the rest of them has finally come to APC with what is going on right now, because the news is really trending about, them trying to legalize the, paper to become the new PVCs. Meanwhile, as you know, in 2023, everybody had the papers and they kicked against it, but now they want it legalized. Now, we're also going to talk about Hakeem Baba's letter to Mr. President, where he said that he should clearly not contest the 2027 election, and he made that as an open letter to Chief Bola Tinubu. We're also going to talk about the protests that is currently going on at the entrance to the FCT minister's office, where they are calling Wiki out and all of that. So a whole lot we are going to discuss. But let's start with this very issue of, the camp. INEC, what is it really about? The papers had it in different dailies that the INEC has announced plans to allow eligible Nigerians to vote in 2027 general elections without a permanent voter card. If you guys recall, in 2003, even the court said that yes, if you have that paper, that you can. They went up to the appeals court to push it down. Now they are looking for legal backing, NAS, to approve it for them to, go ahead with it. Now, there is several people have started talking about manipulation. Recall that Chief Bola Tinubu, on that day, in quote, when they said, on your mandate we stand, you realize that he told them, not realizing it, that all of them have already been carried to the 11th Assembly, meaning they have all won their elections. So whether this is the plan now between INEC and NAS, all of them are, as you know, they are already into the APC. Remaining the judiciary, I think the judiciary are making up their mind when they are going to port to become the third arm of the executive. Now, going to the next page of this very particular thing, you realize that this INEC shift and the changes they are making, they want to adopt an alternative voter accreditation method. Well, if you look very well, I will tell you that the proposal that they are bringing before the National Assembly aligns with the comment made by Mahmoud Yakubu in December of 2024, when he said he's not going to deal with the papers. He emphasized at that time that the role of technology, particularly the BV, that is the BVAS accreditation system, is a vital tool in the electoral processes. He said a whole lot of things that have to talk about the alternative, the slips being an alternative to PVCs and all of that, but then did not allow it to happen because they already had their plans, the plan of how to rig the election. Now they are implementing another new one that Nigerians need to pay attention to, and that is that same paper they rejected in 2023 is now they are planning against 2027. Nigerians, what are we going to say and what are we going to ask them, because it's going to pass through the already rubber-stamped National Assembly. They are going to approve it. And I will tell you really, if there are good intentions, it's a good thing for those people who don't have the permanent voter card. But again, they are citing that the money, the cost of producing these very cards is the issue. But I'm saying it is not even about the cost. It's about the fraud, the plans that they had against 2027. And I'm not the only one on this very talk. VDM also talked about it. I don't want to join the issues of him, glorifying Chibona Tinubu and his strategies and all of that. But he has a point where it has to do about the corruption of this very particular administration, and what they cannot do seems like it does not exist. So let's take a listen to VDM, then we'll come back and we'll conclude on this. Let's take a listen to VDM on this issue.
So the news says INEC moves to legalize voting without PVC in 2027. Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu. They don't use that soccer now, so that when it happens, it don't go surprise you again. So basically, in a nutshell, in 2027, all these people, they don't need your vote again. They will just print that paper. They will come carry some, because now only INEC will provide the paper where we will vote, right? What they will now do is simple. They will print papers where people go vote on, carry and go the normal location for voting. Then they will print extra ones where they will keep for house. APC now we can't just did there to do like this. You know, last year when I said nobody can challenge Tinubu until 2032, Tinubu will do 8 years. They say they don't pay me. They say Tinubu don't pay me, now APC boy. You people are not seeing what I am seeing. Tinubu get the mind, he has the balls. And see the kind of people when use as in suicide. Akpabio and Wike, this stone cold man. See what they don't carry themselves now won't do. So in that 2027 election now, zero. And as of today now, you see how many senators, how many governors, they don't start to be Decamps, they go APC. No opposition again. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban. When I called him a strategist, they say they don't pay me. Say, are they supporting Tinubu? No. I was telling you people that this man is a stone cold. You need different pattern of approach to follow this guy, man. Person never enter power. He tell you, say, Milo come. He never reach power. You don't even know I want to get him. He they tell you, I say, Emilio come. It is my turn. Now when he come this seats, now you walk on sit down. See 2032. See 2032. But now you know the plan what I want to take use. Because this guy, man, I'm not trying to kill anybody, Sopo. I'm just here to say, I said it. I said it. From nowhere, they start propaganda. You know, like Igbos. You know, this one. You know, like Alta. They don't pay him. It's being used by the government. It doesn't stop by the government. No, it is because we don't see front. Hey, Tinubu. Corruption. No, nobody, if not for corruption. I'm not sure say no. If you calculate all the old regime, whatever happened to this country, both military regime, there's none as corrupt as this president regime, this Tinubu regime. There's none as corrupt as this APC president Tinubu regime. No one. Everything is being done for his good. They can't be as if all of them in just whole game bad. Everybody like boy. Nobody get talk of him own for this country anymore. Nobody has a voice. Governor talk, they suspend them for 6 months. I say governor don't go beg now. Governor don't go beg. Anything where one may happen, this is the Jagaban. You see? Our votes don't count no more. Your votes will not count. Nothing like we are going to vote. So if you like, go vote. If you like, no vote. Anything they want to do in 2027, they will do it by hook or by crook. God damn it, man. God damn it, man. I have a message for this on Wiki, and that will be my first post tomorrow morning. I have it. Is that for Wiki especially? That's tomorrow morning. My first post is for Wiki in the morning. So anybody who know Wiki, when they send this video, give and say, okay, very damn man say, in first post of tomorrow will be specially for Nation Wiki, and I'll just do my small analysis, make it see. APC, all problems, concussion parts. Wow. The God of Nigeria, man. Nah. We are definitely learning, and we are learning the hard way. Don't play.
If you agree with me and you also agree with VDM as far as the issue of the plans or their strategy against 2027 is concerned, go to comment section and tell us what you feel about this. Let's not, kind of glorify Bola Tinubu as the biggest strategy. Of course, I mean, he's making his alignments as the case might be. But please, let us understand that in whichever issue we are bringing that is a problem, we are talking about the solution. And we always talk about INEC fix Nigeria by mandate 4, that we say always sign the petition. So please, always remember that in each of our video that we have a description, the description where you can actually click on a link to sign this petition. So wherever we're talking about the problems in Nigeria, we'll also talk about the problem. Now, let's look at the other thing that is trending that has to deal with Baba Akim, that is Baba Ahmed's, utterances that Chief Bola Tinubu should not contest the 2027 election, that he should focus on governance and not 2027 election. He said that Nigeria cannot afford administration distraction by re-election instead of reform. So he said that Chief Bola Tinubu's 2 years in office, that is just something that he can't even really understand, even him that is at the presidency level. So this is somebody who has been there, who has come out to say that Chief Bola Tinubu and his gang at that very Aso Rock really don't know what they are doing. But let me take you through the next page on what he talked about really. So he said instead of seeking instead of seeking another term, that Chief Bola Tinubu should consider stepping aside to allow a new generation of Nigerians with fresh ideas, energy, and perspective to lead. That decision will not be weakness, but statesmanship. It could transform our political culture and leave him, Tinubu, remembered as the leader who made way for real progress. So he clearly told Mr. President Chief Bola Tinubu, do not run in 2027. But whether the man have deaf ears, na dem sabi, because we always know that they always want, just like VDM said, he's already planned it. It's no longer about a Miloko. I mean, it's already a done deal. And like Sowore said, there's a video I watched most recently, where Sowore mentioned that Buhari killed Nigeria. Then Tinubu came and buried Nigeria. If you agree with that, go to the comment section. Tell us what you think. But let's take a listen to Sowore. Make you no be say, na me I talk. Now waiting in carry mouth talk. And when we finish watching this video, I go tell you another thing where they very interesting. From waiting in talk there and waiting will they see Sowore they do. Whether in they embrace APC, we know, but you get something when I want to talk. But make we first of all listen to waiting in talk about Buhari killing Nigeria and Tinubu has buried Nigeria. Let's take a listen.
Tinubu regime came to bury Nigeria after Buhari killed it. And people are still playing along with them. I don't know what is wrong with Nigerians. We are not playing. That's why we are not engaging in all this side hanky-panky about protests. When we are ready and when Nigerians are ready, we are interested in a revolution. We have made that very clear. Because that's what can end this nonsense in our body politic. You have all these military generals who don't go to war. And it's only in Nigeria that somebody who has never fought a war before will become a general in the army. Based on the number of traditional rulers he knows or the GO of his church, that's how they become generals in Nigeria, not because they go to war. If you see an Israeli general, it's because he has fought a war before. If you see an American general, he has been to Afghanistan, he has fought in Iraq, even though those wars might be wrong. But they have gone to war. But in Nigeria, you call these businessmen generals, they are all building estates in Abuja. They don't go to the war front. They don't know what's going on there. They are the ones who are happy that the insecurities are coming. You ask army to be doing traffic work. It's the Nigerian government that refused to release Nnamdi Kanu, something that would have solved a big problem. And then instead of releasing him, you go and put army in the east. Every kilometer in the east, there are army checkpoints. But after 100 kilometers in the north, you can't find the army. There was a man in Katsina who said there are only 5 guns in the local government in Katsina state. And most importantly, legitimate leadership is important. When you don't vote for people and they lord themselves over you, you don't respect them. The president never told you he will be in the country because he never campaigned to be president of Nigeria. It was INEC that imposed him on you. We told you when he was coming to office that the man is sick. Nobody listened to us. They even sang a song, Baba is sick and he's falling apart. Nobody listened to us. We told you that he's coming to govern Nigeria with his family. You didn't listen to us. Now that he's in power, we are calling him president. And now that he doesn't govern from Abuja, he's governing on WhatsApp. You are worried about it. Start listening to what we tell you so that when the problem comes, you not keep asking us the same question over and over again. And I have told you before that the people who claim to be governing Nigeria now never fought for democracy. I was the one who told you that Tinubu was selling drugs. In Chicago in 1993, when we were fighting for democracy with Abiola here in Nigeria.
In as much as I'm one of those people who like Sowere's activism, I like what he said, of course, about the issues in Nigeria and why Nigerians are docile and not reacting, and basically he's talking about revolution. Yes, always when you talk about revolution, I look at it not while we strive in the street, but there is something that's such a revolution that is going on now, which is like, let us fix INEC. So, this same Sowore, I saw a video where he is romancing Nuhu Ribadu, the NSA. Whether it is an old video, I will not say, but what I do know is that there are the kind of embrace, the kind of, the way that their discussion went. When he went to Yola, I think, actually, he went to Nuhu Ribadu's place, and they were having tete-a-tete, as the case might be. And this is the same person who keeps criticizing Tinubu that is lording over Nuhu Ribadu. So I want you guys to always remember, is Sowore really doing an opposition, or he's using the head of people to do protest? I'm not against protest. I like his activism. But why embrace the people who are tormenting Nigerians? Why are you making them to be your friend when they are clearly, from what you say, your enemy? Let's take a listen to what transpired when Sowore went to meet Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor to the nation and to Chief Bola Tinubu. Let's take a look.
Nuhu Ribadu.
Oh my goodness. It's good to see you.
Look at this guy.
Your hometown.
Presidential candidate.
I am now, right now, in Nuhu Ribadu's hometown. This used to be my hometown, Yola. This man that put in jail, the general of police. You're welcome. He's senior officer, his name is jail. We have disrupted everywhere. From Taraba to Adamawa. Nothing is left. Even on our way here, we disrupted herdsmen. We stopped the herdsmen. What's the problem? Let's have a discussion about what's your problem. They don't have any problem. The problem is the leadership in the country. How are you?
Can actually go to the comment section and make your take on this. I know some people will say Nuhu Ribadu had, that Sowore had gone to Nuhu Ribadu, you know, to solicit on behalf of the people of Plateau State and Benue State who are actually, you know, where genocide is actually happening currently. Maybe for him to, you know, make sure that the people over there are secured, as the case might be. If that is his intention, beautiful and good. But if this romance that we see here and the people he criticized randomly, not just, but like every day, you see that criticism going about. Let's say that, let's hope that this meeting is actually for the benefit of the people whom Ribadu will deploy his so-called army, gallant officers, to go and protect. So I just want to bring, but you can go to comment section and please tell us what your take about this. Remember, I'm not criticizing him. I'm only saying let his intentions be real. Okay, let's check the other thing that is also trending as at this very moment. I think it has to do with the issue of that very solar. You know, the solar at Chief Bola Tinubu's this thing. Let me just state clearly that they have defended their action of 10 billion naira budget to put solar, and they have stamped it for us to see that the White House in America has. But what I want to ask Bayo Ononuga and the co that are defending or comparing Nigeria and the US is to ask them what is the GDP of America that they are comparing. Should we start comparing America and Nigeria? Of course, if we want to do that, they still be the one to tell us not to compare. But what I want us to notice is this, my brothers and sisters, is that NEPA has finally, as we are speaking now, they have started installing generators in their office. And not just that, as Tinubu has put solar in his own office, generators are working in NEPA office, which is the PICN, except if there is any other name that is go for. And we also note on the last few weeks ago, we noted that ransom was paid for generals, army generals. Ransom was paid. What more do we want to tell? That we are the ones that we have to help ourselves. The revolution we are talking about is about us. And let me remind you something again. If anyone has noticed that no one is even challenging Senator Ndume on his explosive claim on national TV about the Tinubu's administration reckless spending, especially that staggering 13 trillion already borrowed, what they borrowed combined. Now, instead, the public attention has been narrowly focused on allegations that his children work at the central bank, talking about Senator Ndume's children, completely sidestepping the real issues at hand. Let us sometimes put things in its perspective. If the federal government allocated just 15 billion to each of Nigeria's 774 local government areas in Nigeria, it will amount to less than 12 trillion of that loan we are talking about. With that, it can fully equip factories in these local governments that will be working and employing people. Tailored to each region's strength. The north, another kind of factory. South, another kind of factory. East, another kind of factory. If all of this could be established, even including staff quarters to support sustainable development, you will see such industries could be designed around each local government comparative advantage. For instance, a region with a natural edge in fish farming could use these very particular funds to scale their production and will have bountiful harvest. Invest in processing facilities and meet both domestic demand and international export standard. Why are they not using all this money to create factories where people will be gainfully employed? This money we are talking about It is only when you open up factories that it could create thousands of jobs. We know that during the time of, I think, Yakubu Gowon, that's when they opened PAN. Yes, PAN, Kaduna, yes. And then they have one in Enugu. What is that? I think it has to do with Mercedes-Benz. Now, if this is deployed well, we'll be talking about jobs and jobs and jobs. But they don't listen. Or they don't want the interest of the masses or what bothers the masses. If you do this in every local government, we would have driven internal production, strengthened the naira that we are talking about, and stimulate genuine economic growth. Yet, despite borrowing 13 trillion, the impact is barely visible across Nigeria. The question remains, where is the money going? All the money, including the one of the subsidy, where is it going? We can ask and ask and ask again. But anyway, I think that is as much as we want to take. But let me also mention something that is very, very important. Buhari killed Nigeria, quite all right, as Sowore said. I will also agree with him that Tinubu buried Nigeria. But there is a brewing protest also. Let me just highlight that for a minute before we leave. There's a protest that the residents of Abuja, especially I think they are federal government workers, whether they are for their wage award or something, but they are protesting so much in Abuja. They are calling out yes on Wiki. I think we need to even listen to what they had to say just briefly. Let's quickly listen. Are saying, what they are singing, and what they are calling Wiki out for. But when we talk about, now we're talking about their wages, they are out. But when we want to talk about the end bad governance, when we want to talk about every other thing, you don't see them on the street. But we have talked about what is concerning them, their stomach infrastructure. They are out there on Wiki. But anyway, you can go to comment section and tell me your take. Let's take a listen to them.
So we are the gate of Minister, FCT Minister himself, the wicked man. Yes, we are here, live. All workers in FCT, in solidarity. The government workers, the state government workers, and the local government workers, we are all here. In solidarity, yes. Solidarity! 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 Our people united! Our people united! Our people united! Our people united! Solidarity! 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 Our people united! People united! Yes, sir! We are here! Yes! We can come outside! 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 Come outside! Come outside! We can 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 come outside! It is an arrival today. Wallahi, say everything. Come outside. Come outside. Come outside. So this guy must come.
Wike, come outside. Wike, come outside. when you look at this, what do you see? What I see is that this is something that I'm expecting from the Rivers State people, that their governor was removed. If they all converge in that front and ask Wike to come out, wouldn't it be spectacular? But every day we hear them on the streets of Port Harcourt, where another person is already over, and they are having a counter, because always the government will manufacture some set of people to come and say this side is protesting and this side are also protesting. But when we talk about all these problems in Nigeria, let us not move away from the real solution. Fix INEC.
2007, President Yar'Adua acknowledged
Nigeria. Fix INEC. It would have fixed that. So the mandate 4 is where we stand, and on their petition we stand. Let's take a final listen to them as we roll up from today's edition of the program Active Citizens Parliament. So let's take mandate 4, and that will be, please do like, share, and subscribe if you're a new person, so that other people will understand that there is a chance that we will be able to do the right thing come 2027. Let's take a listen to mandate 4.
2007, President Yar'Adua acknowledged the flaws in the electoral process that brought him to power.
In response to this, he promised electoral reform and established an electoral reform committee to address the electoral issues at that time. In 2015, President Goodluck Jonathan heeded to the cause of Nigerians and initiated reforms that led to significant changes, including the introduction of card reader machine and PVCs. In 2022, President Muhammad Buhari signed into law the highly celebrated Electoral Act of 2022, marking another milestone in Nigeria's democratic journey. However, the 2023 general elections exposed critical loopholes in the Electoral Act. Issues around transmission, logistic management, election petition management, fraud management, electoral transparency, etc. What is the takeaway from all these reforms? Mandate 4 call for comprehensive electoral reform through the National Assembly is both legitimate and non-partisan. It is in line with established tradition. We call on President Bola Tinubu and the leaders of 10th National Assembly to uphold the tradition of electoral reforms. Nigerians deserve a new and improved electoral act that will ensure that INEC remains independent and non-politicalized, guarantee electronic transmission of results, impose severe penalties on vote buying and other electoral offences, promote transparency and verifiable result collection and transmission. Join Mandate 4. Sign our petition today. Share our videos. Call on your representative at the National Assembly and demand an urgent electoral reform. It is now, it is today, and cannot wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow is not assured. I am Dr. Damian Atta, a research course.